We're here at East Coast Gear Supply in North Carolina. Now, you know about the East Coast Gear Supply crate axles because you've seen me install them before, but East Coast Gear Supply is much more than that. We're gonna check out the operation from top to bottom and see all the services that they offer right here in this building. Chase, I think probably the one thing that I knew about East Coast Gear Supply first was the fact that you guys had all the parts I needed to build my axle. So where did the idea of stocking so many parts come from?
Honestly, Randy's Ring and Pinion had a ton of parts and we were buying parts from them. And I saw how successful they were with having inventory on the shelf. And now over 18 years, we have built what I consider to be an unmatched inventory hold, particularly for our niche, which our niche is general repair and off-road.
Okay, and you've been able to, like you said, a good mix, or the mix that you know works because you're installing all these parts.
Correct.
So you know what works best, and so that's how you pick what you're gonna stock. Is that how that works?
Yeah, we're doing repairs in the shop every day, you know, building off-road vehicles, that sort of thing. So everything that we keep here in stock is what we would build with. So when you call and you're like, hey, I'm gonna build this buggy, what would you do? Well, what I would do is sitting here on the shelf in very, very healthy quantities. You know, if you look behind us, the ARB, I would assume that we're one of the largest stocking ARB locker dealers in the world. You know, ARB's got tons of other parts. We don't stock any of that. We don't, you know, I don't care about
fridges here.
I don't care about bumpers. We might find a fridge on a promo deal, but you know, fridges, and we do keep the air compressors, obviously, just so people have it for their builds. But what we care about is axles and quality parts to go in those to make sure that you don't have any problems. Because, I mean, you know, it's not cheap to re-gear, and it's certainly more than twice as expensive to do it twice.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially number one, when you're talking about a four-wheel drive vehicle, number one, right away, you're doing it twice.
Yeah.
Front and rear axle. And then number two, and it's not just expensive parts, it's also expensive labor.
Yep.
And the downfall is, unfortunately, if it's done wrong or there's a part failure, it usually wipes out a whole bunch of other parts with it.
Correct, yeah.
So by picking the right parts out of the gate, you know that what's gonna work well together.
Yeah.
If someone was to call in right now and say, I wanna build the ultimate 14-bolt axle for my buggy. I want big tires, big horsepower, 14-bolt buggy axle.
And you're only going to run it in the woods?
Just on rocks and trees.
I'd put a spool in the back.
Okay.
Hundreds of them in stock, ready to go.
Yep.
Chromoly axle shafts, ready to go.
40 spline?
Well, you can, but you're going to have to buy one of our axles to get 40 spline.
Okay, 40, that's what I'm doing. Yep, okay.
So yeah, you know, when you start getting it, again, while we stay in the crate axle business, if you want to build the best 14 bolt, you're going to go to 40 spline, and we have 40 spline spools, we have 40 spline ARBs. So it really doesn't matter what you're doing. We've thought about it and we're stocking it. Super fast to ship and
all the parts you need.
And if there's ever a failure, you know, again, we have it.
This is where we'll put Chase's cell phone number at the bottom of the screen.
Correct.
Problem solved. All right, so there you go. Need parts for your axle build? East Coast Gear Supply, it's got you covered. What most people know East Coast Gear Supply for nowadays is crate axles. And so that's where we're at now. We're talking crate axles. So Chase, when did you start making crate axles for people?
Well, we started with a Ford 8/8, and we would go to the pick and pull, cut them out of old Explorers, drag them back to the shop, cut all the brackets off, weld new ones on, and then try to make it look new.
And what vehicle was that for? Who are you making those for?
TJs, okay. YJs,
so just the first little upgrade for somebody that 8/8 upgrade, disc brake rear type of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
It was a great upgrade axle, but it got increasingly difficult to find enough 8/8s and then just to produce the quality that I wanted at the end. You know, when somebody's buying a crate axle and they open that crate up, they expect it to look brand new. And if you're starting with a junkyard axle,
that's hard.
It is very, very difficult to make it look like it's brand new. So at some point we had the epiphany, let's just start from new.
What was the first East Coast Gear Supply crate axle?
Dana 60 rear.
Okay.
So we got some castings from Dana, started machining our own tubes. We built a press you know, horizontal press to press it all together. And that was where it started with the Dana 60s.
And then when did you guys start making your own, basically, center sections? Because that to me is the coolest thing, is there's no junkyard parts there. It's all new.
Yeah. So about 7 or 8 years ago, we started developing all our own castings. You've seen the 14 bolt and the 80 and the 44. What I tell people is we try to design and develop the Lego blocks to axles. So C's, knuckles, spindles, wheel hubs, ABS fitment, different lug patterns, different size ring gears. So no matter what your project is, we can take those Lego blocks and assemble them to what your project needs.
If someone's thinking about a crate axle, what's the most important thing that you think they have to pay attention to when they're making that decision?
I mean, what their end goal is, right? Do you want to drive it on the street 20,000 miles a year, or do you want to run it once a month in the woods?
Yeah.
Do you want to run, you know, 44-inch tires, or do you want to run 35s, etc.? So, you know, weight, strength, cost, all of those things, but like, what's your end goal?
Because if you don't know where you're going to go, there's no point buying the biggest, craziest axle if you're just going to put 35s on it.
Well, even actually, I see the bigger problem is they start a project and they do this upgrade, and then they do this upgrade, and then they do this upgrade, and then they end up at the biggest, baddest axle. And so you end up spending money a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a vehicle you want to build, come up with a plan first and then buy for that plan. And obviously plans change,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know.
But if you know eventually you're going to have a V8 swapped
yeah.
JK on 44s, just buy the big axle.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, JKs or, you know, now JL, honestly, at this point, maybe you're going to do wheels and tires first, but instead of just re-gearing it, like you put 37s on it, like it's going to be a problem if you're going to go try to wheel this thing and put a bunch of miles on it. So don't spend the money to re-gear it and put lockers in it, you know, and all these things when really, if you look at the full project and where you want to go, maybe the complete axle is the way to go. And maybe 60s front and rear on 37s is a little much, but at least you have the confidence that you can go wherever you want to go.
And bigger tires in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if someone's shopping for a crate axle, why should they go with an East Coast Gear Supply crate axle?
I think there's a lot of other builders out there that will do like unique things maybe, but those unique things can be difficult to service, or you know, it's at the upper echelon. You can't go to the parts store to build. So, you know, what we've really focused on is building something that's almost unbreakable, but also very serviceable. The things that we build in the hundreds. And so we keep all this inventory. And we also, like, if you look at our Kingpin, you know, these wheel bearings, you go buy them at the parts store. The brakes, you can get them at the parts store. We don't want to do anything that's too exotic, that like you have to only come to this one place to fix, and or if you are 8 states away and you're on this big trip, you know, is it repairable? And this goes into the broader scope of our business, you know, selling overseas for different projects and companies. It can't be 100% unique to us, right? It's got to be serviceable around the globe. And so that's what we try to focus on. Now, there is going to be some hard parts, castings, C, knuckle, but these are things that like, they shouldn't fail. If it is, this is catastrophic.
Yeah.
And
it's not a parts store repair.
Yeah. And we try to overbuild those things that it's not going to. But when we look at wear parts or serviceability, we really try to focus our engineering on this has to be long-term serviceable. If this building, you know, was to go away and all of our parts evaporated, I need my customers to be able to call other people and say, I need this bearing, no problem.
Perfect, there you go. Easy to service and strong as hell. That should be your new slogan. Next stop in our tour is the shop, right? That's just what we call this, the shop?
Yep.
The shop is here because East Coast Gear Supply, I mean, everyone knows you guys to get parts for their own axle projects, but you know what parts to tell them to use because you're installing them here.
Correct, yeah. East Coast started as a shop, and that shop started stocking parts. You know, it's kind of our background. It's a love for us. We like to be able to fix and tinker and do things. All of our prototyping happens out of here. All of the testing happens, and And obviously you can drive from wherever and we'll fix it or repair it or upgrade it and all those things. And, you know, we've kept it through the years. Although it's not the biggest part of our business, it's one of the most critical because it keeps us on the edge of what's happening.
And it also lets you know, like, oh, well, if I'm installing this locker, then I definitely need to have these bearings on top. So when someone calls in, you can tell them, hey, just so you know, if you buy this part, you're going to need these following 4 parts.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than buying what you think you're going to need for a weekend job and then you don't have all the parts.
Yeah.
So by installing it, you learn that firsthand.
Correct. We can test drive it, bring it back in. We can change, tweak, you know, all the benefits of not just selling parts. We get to use them. So and if a guy calls and he says, hey, this isn't fitting right, it's like, oh, well, have you tried this? Or what year is it? You know, we just did one last week. So.
And then also, if someone's got something weird, like I noticed outside, I saw a Super Duty with an ambulance dead on the back.
Yep.
If they've got something weird, you can say, well, bring it here. We'll take a look at it and help you fix it, right?
Yeah, that's 4-wheel drive ambulance, you know, anything with axles, we're in.
There we go. So if you got a weird project or if you're having trouble with your install, know that everyone at East Coast Gear Supply is going to know how to answer your questions because they install all the parts that they sell. Next stop on our tour around East Coast Gear Supply, we are here in the, what is this, all Toyota stuff?
Yep.
This Toyota rebuild. Just like, so but this is your core rebuild program, right?
Yep.
So someone has a Toyota and they need it rebuilt, what do?
They send their core in, or they buy one from us and then send their core back.
Okay.
So we call this Toyota World.
Okay.
So we got an inside chat channel and this is Toyota World.
Okay. So we're in Toyota World.
We're in Toyota World.
So what gets rebuilt here? It's not only the dropout, it's also the clamshell, right?
Yep. So we do front and rears, pretty much all your Toyota differentials. We have cores in stock, ready to be built. And so the benefit is you can keep driving your truck, order a diff from us, we'll ship it to you. And then over the weekend, you can swap it in yourself and then send your core back on Monday.
And are guys buying, like, is this just re-gear or is this re-gear locker upgrades or just sky's the limit?
All of the above. I mean, we do a lot of general repair for mechanic shops also. They diagnose one, it comes into their shop. They don't want the lift to be tied up while they wait for parts. They know the diff's bad, great. Sometimes they'll call us for parts and they're like, wait, you can send us the whole diff? Yep. And so we'll do that. And then, of course, the aftermarket guys that have bigger tires are re-gearing, doing ARBs and E-lockers and that sort of thing.
So they will just basically go on the website, pick what they want, whether it's just replacement or upgraded, and they'll do the rear dropout, the front clamshell. You ship it to them, they swap it, send it back, and you just reimburse their core price.
Correct.
Standard core. But the most important thing to remember here is it's got to be a good core, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what makes a core a good core?
It just has to be rebuildable. So this particular unit is E-locker. It'd be your 96 to 2015 generation of E-locker. And so some of the things that keep these from being rebuildable is the carrier. And so this is an actual example of a core that's come in. So we gut it, we inspect every single piece of it and make sure that everything is good and it is in fact rebuildable. So this is another thing that's good about buying a diff from us. We've gone through it, every piece of it, and made sure that, hey, this is a good serviceable core. Because if you go to do this at your shop even, and you even ordered the parts to do the re-gear, but then you get in there and you're like, uh-oh, something else is wrong. So obviously here we have everything, so we can make it good by using the air hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. So when someone comes in, they pick what they want, they order it, as long as the core is good, they get their core back, less downtime for them, and you cover all the Toyota generations, right? And all the models, right?
Yeah, the newest stuff, we're still picking around because obviously Tundra, 4Runner, and Tacoma is all on new platforms. So we do have the Tacoma new platform figured out. We are requiring people to send their cores in on those, even though we have some cores, because we're just not super confident in we're going to send you the exact right diff. They're still new.
Because they're so new.
Yeah, and the new Tundra, there is nothing aftermarket available as of yet.
Perfect. All right. But if you've got that 05 to 15.
Well, even 22.
20, yeah. all the way up to 22. You've got the parts that they need. So if you got a problem with your Toyota, or you want to upgrade it with a new locker, new gears, East Coast Gear Supply can get you all taken care of right here in Toyota land.
Yeah, Toyota World.
Toyota World. That wraps up our tour of East Coast Gear Supply. Whether you're rebuilding your existing axles, looking for a complete crate axle, or need expert installation and technical support, the team at East Coast Gear Supply has everything you need to get your project back on the road. To learn more, visit eastcoastgearsupply.com or give them a call, 919-672-2705. That's Chase's cell.